Hello, and a big warm welcome to Straight4ward Science. Whether it be your passion for science and knowledge or your school homework bringing you here, welcome. We are going to smash science together. This channel is aimed to help you understand key scientific topics, whether that's to help you with your school or university exams, or just to quench your thirst for knowledge. You are in the right place. In this video, we are going to look at cells. And no, that doesn't mean a prison cell. Remember, science has different definitions for different words to what we might use in everyday life. A cell in biology means a basic building block, so it's what everything's made up of. For example, we are made of cells. In GCSE Science, there's an experiment looking at plant and animal cells under a microscope. And the animal cells that we often use for this experiment are cheek cells. In the next 3 videos, we are going to look at 3 cells in depth. These cells are animal cells, plant cells, and bacterial cells. The first organelle we are going to discuss in the plant cell is the nucleus. We have come across the nucleus before in our animal cell video. As we know from that video, the nucleus controls the functions of the cell and contains DNA. The nucleus is represented by a shaded circle. The next organelle is the cell membrane. This is the inner line in the plant cell. It is still semi-permeable, therefore only allowing certain particles into the cell. Remember, it's like a bouncer at a club. The next organelle is the cytoplasm. I often think of the cytoplasm like wibbly wobbly jelly. This is where chemical reactions happen. If you've ever made jelly before, you will know that a chemical reaction happens when you make it. We know this because our reactants, our bits at the start, are different to our products, our jelly. As we start with a jelly cube, add some water, that's our reactants, and then we mix it and this turns to jelly, our product. This is essentially the cytoplasm. Next we have the mitochondria. I think that mitochondria look like peas in a pod. The single term for mitochondria is mitochondrion. Mitochondria produce energy. One form of energy is glucose. Energy allows the cell to conduct chemical processes. Mitochondria is also involved in cellular respiration. Our equation for respiration is oxygen plus glucose, our reactants, produce carbon dioxide and water, our products. The next organelle that we are going to look at are the ribosomes. This is where protein synthesis happens. Proteins are really important as they allow cells to repair themselves. The word synthesis in protein synthesis just means to make. So the ribosomes is where the proteins are made. Now we are going to discuss 3 new organelles. We haven't come across these organelles in an animal cell yet, so these are brand new to us in a plant cell. The first new organelle we are going to be introduced to is the chloroplast. Chloroplasts are represented by ovals in the cytoplasm. These ovals can be shaded green. The reason the chloroplasts are green is because they contain a special pigment called chlorophyll, which is green in colour. Photosynthesis also occurs in the chloroplasts. Photosynthesis allows plants to create energy or food. The equation for photosynthesis is carbon dioxide plus water goes to oxygen and glucose. Glucose is a form of energy, it's a sugar. The next organelle is the vacuole. This is usually located in the middle of the plant cell and is either represented as a large oval or rectangle. The vacuole stores cell sap. Cell sap contains nutrients which are stored here for later use. If you've ever been for a walk in a park, you might have noticed cell sap coming out of some trees. This is usually a sticky substance due to the glucose content. The last new organelle we are going to be introduced to is the cell wall. This is the outer line of the plant cell. The cell wall provides structure and support for the plant cell. It is made of a substance called cellulose. We will come across cellulose in later videos, but for now, cellulose is a molecule made of carbon atoms, hydrogen atoms, and oxygen atoms. An interesting fact about cellulose is that it's also used in clothes. For example, cotton t-shirts. In summary, the nucleus contains many of the functions of the cell and contains DNA. It is represented by a shaded circle in the plant cell. The cytoplasm is a jelly-like material in the cell where the organelles are located. Remember, chemical reactions happen here. The cytoplasm isn't represented by anything other than empty space. The mitochondria is represented by the pea in the pod-looking structure, and that's where respiration happens. The ribosomes produce proteins, protein synthesis, and they're represented by small little shaded circles. The cell membrane is the inner layer in our plant cell, and that is semi-permeable like our teacher or bouncer. Lastly, our three new organelles from this session, and possibly the most important ones to remember, are our chloroplasts, which are represented by green ovals. Photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplasts. Our vacuole, which is represented by a large oval or rectangle in the centre of our plant cell, which stores cell sap. And lastly, our cell wall, which is the outer layer of our plant cell. The cell wall gives our plant cell its structure. In our bacterial cells video, we will have a quick quiz to make sure you are an expert on all the three cells we have discussed. Thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.